Hello everyone, I'm Georgia and welcome to 2023. What happened to 2016? Felt like it was yesterday. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at the story of how Julie Andrews became an author. It's no secret at all today that Julie is the author of a number of books, many of them written in collaboration with her daughter Emma. There's the Dumpy series, the Little Bo series, the Very Fairy Princess series, Dragon Hound of Honor, The Great American Mousical, and of course her newest one, The First Notes, The Story of Do-Re-Mi, which I would bet anything does not mention her role in Sound of Music at all. But we're not looking at any of those today. We're looking at her first book, which was called Mandy. Mandy was published in 1971, actually, so the story of when she became an author starts a while ago, like 50 years a while ago. But the story actually starts more in 1968 or 1969, during the time that Julie was filming Darling Lili. Darling Lili was not released until 1970, but they were filming a lot of it in 1968. She passed up a lot of the promo and premieres and such for Star in favour of filming Darling Lili. Because Blake, when she met Blake Edwards, he already had two children of his own, Jeffrey and Jennifer. And obviously as she and Blake got more serious, they each wanted to meet the other's children and make sure everybody got along, the whole blended family kind of thing. And one day Julie was trying to make sure all the kids were being good, make sure they'd cleaned their rooms and brushed their teeth and all that sort of thing. And she promised that whoever was able to do that would get a prize, but if they weren't able to do that, they would have to pay a forfeit. However, Ginny countered back saying Julie had to play too. You see, Julie was doing a very specific, completely separate thing that Jenny really did not like. Swearing. That's right, Julie Andrews swears. Quite a lot. With perfect diction. She's always described them as being four-letter Anglo-Saxon words. Jenny absolutely hated all the swearing Julie was doing, so Julie agreed to play this game as well. And if she lost, she would have to write Jenny a story. Julie lost. Quickly. I remember reading that she didn't last an hour, but she held good on her promise, and after that, whenever she had a spare moment, she began writing the book that would become Mandy. She was partially inspired by Shell Cottage at Carlton in Ireland, which was where they stayed for a while when they were filming Darling Lili. As I said, this was all happening around the same time. I don't know a lot about the specifics of the book itself. I haven't read it, and most of the descriptions nowadays highlight that Julie Andrews is the author just as much as they highlight the synopsis of the actual book itself. But it seems to be about this girl named Mandy who lives at an orphanage, and one day she comes across a secret cottage in the woods. And I guess it just goes from there. And it sold pretty well, which is interesting. I'll talk about that in a minute. But critically, well, Time said this. Julie Andrews has fondly read The Secret Garden and deserves every success as a singer and film actress. So, yeah. And as someone who has read The Secret Garden, it does indeed sound very similar. Also, Colin from The Secret Garden is not disabled, and I will die on this hill. But we're not here to talk about a disabled person's reading of a disabled character in a children's book published 112 years ago. Back to Julie and Mandy. Remember how I said it was interesting that it sold well? Well, that's interesting because Julie wasn't planning on publishing it. Just planning on making a single copy to give to Jenny. But after she asked her agent to look it over, they ended up sending it to Harper and Row, I'm not sure, which ended up leading to it getting published in 1971. The book's dedication reads, "To Jenny because I promised." Most of what Julie Andrews does today is writing. So while she has been writing since the 1970s, she talks about that with Kermit the Frog on her appearance in The Muppets in the 1970s, this part of her career only really took off after she lost her voice. The last of the really great Whangdoodles, yes, you heard that correctly, was published in 1973 under the pen name Julie Edwards, which she also used for Mandy. How many people were you actually fooling by using Blake's surname Julie? I want to know. But that seems to have been all there was until 1999 when she wrote Little Bo. And most of her books are quite different from Mandy. What I mean by this is Mandy, and I guess the last of the really great Whangdoodles as well, seem to be middle grade novels. I'm guessing. I haven't read any of these books, and I'm actually perfectly okay with that, while everything else seems to be picture books, or poetry collections where the number of poems she actually contributed personally can be counted on one hand. As I said, I don't know for sure. I haven't read any of these books. except the two poetry collections. So I might be completely wrong, but I get the feeling that Mandy, at the very least, is not a picture book, and is therefore different from all the others. Melanie Andrews got to where she is now, in terms of being an author, because she lost her singing voice and she needed a new outlet for her creativity. Emma said that to her once when Julie was bemoaning about the fact that she couldn't sing anymore. Emma said, "You've just found a different way of using your voice." But at the same time, I wonder whether she would be writing at all if it wasn't for Mandy. And that's everything I've got for today, guys. Welcome to the new year. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments, have you read Mandy? Or just any of Julie's books? And should I read them? And let me know, do you think she'd be writing as much as she is now if she hadn't published those two books back in the 1970s? I hope you enjoyed listening to this story. Stay safe, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my video next time. So long, farewell!